All right. So what do we have here? So we enter here. We had to try this trade a couple of times. Faked us out here. We had to get out on this bar. We got back in on this bar though, and then it continued on down. So this shouldn't turn into a loss no matter what. Definitely shouldn't turn into a loss. But how big of a win is it going to be? I don't know. I kind of want to see it. It hasn't closed this gap. I kind of want to see it test the gap. Then I don't want to see it test the gap. But anyway, so last all in direction was long. Okay. Then it went short. Market cycle, we were in a broad channel. So we were in a channel and a trading range. There's the trading range there. We're still in a trading range. I don't know why I say we're not. I even have it here. We're in a spike down and a trading range. I think it's pretty strong. Likelihood of trading these prices soon. I put that it was low because of the spike, so it's telling me trend. I kind of think it's in between low and very low, so it could be a strong trend. Wedge. This is an expanding wedge right here. Okay, it also had a wedge here, broke out of, and then resumed, and then obviously the big wedge here. So it could come back and test the wedge and take me out of break even. I don't want that, but I don't want to get out of this yet. I don't want it to turn into a loss. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Characteristics: wedge, triangle, expanding wedge. A bunch of wedges up in here. Market's always wedging, trying to reverse. This is a wedge here. One down, two down, three down. This could reverse up here. But gaps were open. Now they're closing them on the bull. So when I wrote that, I saw this gap here was left open. I even marked it right here. When it formed, it was left open. Then they went up a little bit, and then they started closing the gap. You had a gap. You had a gap from here to here, and they closed it with that red bar. Okay, and then they left some more gaps open. This low and this low. They didn't trade back below it till just now. And then this gapped up, sold off, gapped up again, sold off. So gapped up, they couldn't keep the gap open. This gap right here, sold off into it, tried to retest this channel, and then they fell away. So it's making a pretty nice move down. My target is obviously the end of this channel right here, because it did all of this inside of this trading range. This trading range right here. Let me make it a different color. Looking at green a little too long. Um, that works for me. Okay, so they've been in here for a minute, and my first low here, my first instinct is to get out of this low. So more gaps above that they're not able to close. All right. Um, every high that they had reversed above, they had sold. So you had a low here, and then this is a lower high, higher high, reversed above it, sold off. Okay, came back a little bit above the breakout point. This higher high, they got to it in reverse, but they did trade above it, reversed down. Then they got above this one and this one and this one on this move here, sold off. And then when they finally got above the last one here, I guess that's when the market decided it had gone too far, and then people started to take profits. So I did notice that every time you trade above a high, it would fail and would come back. Um, we talked about gaps. We talked about, well, we haven't talked about it yet, but this is, I put this down here, exceptional reversal. So when you have a strong trend, you need bars to reverse it that are pretty convincing. You don't want to just try to reverse because you see, like a bar like this or like that. Those are unremarkable. You start getting one like this, they didn't get good follow through here, but they did sell off at the end of the bar and they left the gap open, so that's when I went short up here. Um, but when you start getting bars like this, consecutive bear bars, all right, this is getting a little parabolic. They might try to reverse this up on me. But we're getting down here to the end. I'm going to do my best to hold this. I may even add on again. We're about halfway through the channel right now, through the trading range, so I might add on to this, but I want to see a retest. I want to add on a retest. So right now we've got a wedge down, 1, 2, pull back 3, pull back maybe 4. So if it breaks below this, I have to start getting out of some of these shorts because it's going to be really parabolic and probably going to retest and then fall away. So I would like for it to retest here and then fall away. Yeah, so we're going to go with that. Let's see what happens. All right, so I thought I was recording. I was not. I started getting out of my position here. I sold one here, sold one. Well, let's turn it on. I can show you. Let's do this. Trading, execution labels. Okay. So, what I sold one here, and I sold one at the top of that, sold one at the bottom, and another one a little bit higher. So, my average price for getting out, if I sold the majority of them, I sold one there and there. Okay, so let's do this. I sold one there and there, so that mid price is there. Then I sold one here and here. So mid price there, mid price moves to here. So this is where I sold the last one here. But if I can get back in above my average sell when this rebounds, it looks like it's kind of parabolic. I can't see it. Well, it's pretty close now. I guess it could dump all the way back down to here and then rebound. But we're still in a trading range, still in a spike. It's a spike, and still in a broad channel, and it's pretty strong. So I clearly sold too soon. If it breaks below here, it comes down, but made a nice little profit there. I think it was like a $300, $400 trade. So let's continue to see what's going on. All right, I'll be back. All right, so we are getting that pullback. Was the right thing to do to sell there. We could now buy about 8 points higher, 9 points higher on these two, the 58s. We can buy at 67. Or we can sell, I'm sorry, I keep saying buy. We can sell 9 points higher, but I want to see how they treat this first real try, because if we're counting, say this is the first push down in the wedge, this is the second. So down, up, down, up, down, or we could start the wedge from here. Start it from here, like that. So let's just see what happens here. If we start the wedge here, it's a downward sloping channel, it's a spike. It's probably going to want to retest one of these lines. Either this one here, this line that it fell out of, the broadening channel. I don't think it can get there though. But we're going to be looking for signs that it can't rally. So we got a gap open here. Remember, I'm just going through this checklist again and again and again and again. Okay, I'm just going through this again and again. So the last all in direction, now it's long, or now it's short. What are we in? We're in a spike. We're in a channel too, and we're in a trading range. So we're in all three right here. See that? I'll show you here. This is the spike. This is the channel, and this overall orange box is the trading range. So we're actually in all of those right now. The dominant feature is obviously the trading range. Okay, and I think we're targeting this low like I've been saying. That's pretty, I'd say it's pretty strong, but I'm asking, is it strong or weak? And what strong or weak? Is the spike strong? Yes. Is the trading range strong? Yes. You traded above it just a little bit, it pulled you right back in and sold down to half of it. I'd say that's pretty strong. Is the channel strong? It is, because it's tight. Okay, so it's a tight channel, so I'd say that's all strong. What are the likelihood that we'll be trading these prices soon? I think we'll be trading these prices soon. So I'm going to say it's pretty high, and that's going to put me in a trading range, because I think we might trade up to here and then come back down, or we might just barrel through. But yeah, it's got characteristics of a wedge. And I put the gaps were open. I already read that note. So what other additional info can I put in here? We could update the information about gaps. Bears are opening gaps to the downside that bulls cannot close. All right.
We're in this together, all of us.
All right, I'll be back. All right, so it's given us a little bit more here with this bar, about 25 points more. Had we sold up here, could have got in on this and been in on this. This closed this gap though. This bar had a gap between this low and this low. Closed that gap. But now there's a gap open here that it has not closed right there, and doesn't look like it wants to. So not a lot of buying pressure down here, but I'm still looking for that pullback. It's got about 30 more points to go. Let's see if we get it. I'll be back. All right, so we are getting a little bit of a reversal here. They did manage to close this gap, and then they gapped up above this. So they have a gap below now that they have. Well, the computer's doing that for me. So we got to continue to look at this. We're still in a trading range. All in directions still short. Still in a spike. We've kind of come out of this channel right here. So I'm going to take the channel off. Alright, but how strong is the channel? I'd say it's kind of weak now. Get your first pullback. Tend to be weaker than a tight channel. So we've gotten our first pullback, so we're out of the spike phase. I'm going to take that off there too. So we're just still in the trading range phase. What we have here is a wedge. It's returning to the moving average. First time in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bars. Had a big sell-off yesterday, so I'm planning when Asia opens for there to be some downside continuation. I'd like to see that. But we have got our 3 pushes down here now. Let's turn off some of this. Let's try to make this a little bit cleaner here. Hold on, I'll be back. Alright, so we've cleaned it up a tad bit here. What we want to see is we want to get, so it just went all in long with these 3 bull bars. This closed near its high, left a gap below, this gapped up over that. So there was no one here after this close that was willing to sell after they had retraced this bar. So it gapped up to find a seller that would sell, and they bought it up. So now we're buying up below here. We're getting ready to approach the 20 again. This is the 20 period. And then we have this up here as far as resistance goes for the wedge. And then we have the bottom of this wedge here. So if I can start to get in here, and then if it goes to here, which is about a 20-point range, add on somewhere in there, and for another fall down, that would be ideal for me. Um, might not get it though. Might just trade below here. Another red bar open up. Might try again though. This breakout is strong enough to where it might get a second leg up, even if it gives me a bear bar. So we want to keep that in mind also. Still in a wedge. Are we likely to trade these prices soon? I said yes earlier. I'm saying the same now. That's why it says trading range. Additional notes: bears opening gaps to the downside they cannot close. I'm going to put the spike phase has ended, and we are looking to start a broader bear channel down. I want to stay short bias. Alright, so we got all that in there. Look at the highs and lows. We broke below this low right here. Didn't make a measured move. Instead, it was bought up. So we could probably rest assured that if we break below this low right here, it's probably going to be bought up, which would make sense because it's the bottom of the range. I really want to see this tag to 20, and I really want to see this get here. I want to see it tag to 20 and get here. If it can't do that, it's probably going to go down pretty hard, and I'm probably going to miss that trade. So let's see what happens. Alright, so it just gave me the signal to go short here. Okay, it actually came back and closed this gap partially here. And close it all the way, it looks like. So this gap is close to the bottom side now, but like I said, this is strong enough. You might see another leg up. Probabilities are I want to get short in this area and this area right here. So I want to see a second entry. This was the first entry short. I want to see it trade up, fail, and then come back for a second entry. Let's see if we get it. Alright, so this bar just closed at its low, below this one here. But I thought this leg was sufficiently strong enough where we might get a small second leg. And we did try it twice. We tried above here, failed, engulfed, and then tried about the midpoint of this candle and then failed. So probably going to go lower, but right now it's about 50-50 whether we will or not. I think the bears are still pretty strong at the bulls are stronger at the lower end of this, obviously, and the bears are stronger up here. So I really want to see that retest and pull away. Got a lot up here now. You got a gap that you'd be retesting. Got the top of this, and it's near the top 1/3 here. So if I don't get a retest, I mean, I can't really get in. I could, I guess. This was my signal here, but I'm not really comfortable with it because of this gap. So there's underlying strength. So I just want to see what they're going to do next. Alright, so this would be my second entry short if this were to trigger here. And there it is. And I'm going to go ahead and get short again. Let's just start 2. I'm going to save a little bit of room up here to scale in. Let's see what happens. Got something going here. The crazy thing is we sold about where we sold last time, so I can't really be mad at that, but kind of frustrating. Probably try to get a better price, but we sold almost damn near the same spot. So let's see how it plays out. So remember we said that we expected to come to the bottom of this range. This wedge played itself out, tight channel, wedge, whatever you want to call it. First push, second push, third push, or you could say 1, 2, 3. I'm expecting this to come back and test this extreme, which would coincide with this. So I'm basically expecting it to come to the end of this range now. So I'm going to put my thing down there to buy it back here, because I think we're coming for the bottom of this range. It coincides with the bottom of this, and it's like a magnet. It's going to suck everyone down here. So let's see what happens. Alright, so we're getting what we discussed here. Getting a downdraft into these lows right here. This is the bottom of the range technically. Well, let's do this. This is the bottom of the range here, but I always try to get out a little bit before. Simply because I think there's going to be a lot of profit taking down here. So I always try to get out before it breaks. Most breakouts are going to fail in a trading range, obviously. So if I get out here short, I should be interested in going long. But let's let it come on down here. So right now, this is one of those situations, we can talk about it live. This is one of those situations where my risk and reward have changed from the beginning of the trade. So I've got like what, another 5 points in here. So we've got another $20. So we're risking 160 to win the 20. You know, so it's upside down. So you got to be wary of that. So if this just starts to reverse, I got to get out of this. But I think this is a pretty safe profit right here. But this is one of those situations where the risk-reward profile changes as the trade goes on, and you got to be aware of that. You got to know how to manage that. So I might actually take this right here, but then every time I do that, it spikes right as soon as I press it, and I'm out of a couple bucks. So let's let it hit it. It's come this far. I think it'll go a little bit further. I think it'll actually come below these lows. But the next candle here, all right, there we go. So just like that, out of that trade, and you saw all the way from up here, guys, how we managed this all the way down here. So, all right, hope you enjoyed it. Leave me a like, guys. Go to my videos and like them. Jesus, I know you guys watch them and you enjoy them because you email me and you tell me, but go like them. I need you to like them. If you can comment on them, that'd be great. Do the newer ones. I don't care about the old ones. But I'm putting effort into these. I'm trying to teach you guys, and I'm giving you tools to do what I do. And no one seems to be appreciating it. I'm just feeling some type of way. All right. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.